lot of knowledge by reading. How long can you read? You know, some people pride themselves with reading in the night. I can't read in the night. I don't read in the night. If I wake up in the night, I want to pray. I just walk in the night. But I've studied myself, and we are going to get to that as well. I'm running ahead of myself, but it's okay. I'll just keep it when I get there. You have to know yourself. You have to understand yourself. Remember, you are competing with your yesterday, not with yourself. So I found out right from university, and that was not long ago. I was in university in 1994 to 1988. I found out I could not, and it should not be reading at night. Are you good at reading at night? Perfect. That's you. I also found out that I could not, and I still cannot, read more than 2 hours a time. So what do? I sit, I read. When it's about 1 hour 45 minutes, I stand up and I go and do something. Play computer gaming, go and watch television. But here's the point. Are you disciplined to go back to the reading when you're supposed to? So I tell myself as I'm standing up, next 10 minutes, get back to this things. Sometimes I indulge myself, I say 30 minutes. So I set my watch to 27 minutes, and whatever is on the screen by 27 minutes, I get back. Still leaving the place and setting down to another 3 minutes. So when I tell people that when I don't have break for work, I read for 4 to 5 hours a day, they feel like, what? You're a fantastic person. I'm not a fantastic person. I only understand myself. I also know that I need to read for at least 15 hours a week. At least. And so I budget 2 hours plus every day. You know why that happened? Again, it's about knowing and understanding yourself. There was a night somebody called me around 9 o'clock. I put things on social media every day. Whether I take 15 minutes, that's a small nugget. I've been doing that for about 3 years. So somebody called me while I was on social media about 9 o'clock. And when it was about 11, I wanted to set a reminder using his name. And I went to check when he called me, and I found out that I was on social media before he called me. I'm still on social media when I wanted to check. So I spent over 2 hours on social media. So again, I told myself, you can't be productive. Because you don't have a boss, you don't have a limit. And I told myself, on social media, that's not your business. You spend 2 full working hours. How do I do? Typically, you get to office by 8 o'clock, you leave by 4, you have 1 hour break. That's 7 hours work. 14 hours that I was doing on a weekly basis is 7 times 2 days. So I changed. And here are things I'm just throwing up to you. You need to understand yourself. And you need to set a goal. And you need to be disciplined. Okay? So do you know what to do? Do you know who to talk to or consider? Do you have mentors? Do you have accountability partners? Especially when you are not that disciplined to be your own best. Do you actually want to change? Do you desire it? You know that can actually happen. I go about trading and people say, hey, beautiful, I want you to mentor me. I'll say, call me between 6 and 8 every day except Thursday. They'll never call. And I'll never blame them. At the receiving of my presentation, they desire it, but the desire is not strong enough to follow. So when you say you want to talk to me, the first thing is on you, not on me. I'll say, call me. I won't call you. Even if I remember, I want to talk to you. Because I want to test the strength of your desire next time. So do you know yourself? I've spoken about that. Do you block your time to do certain things? I have an older cousin who calls me around 8 o'clock in the morning. And most of the time I'll know that he wants to gist with me. I've never taken his call. Until one day he called. I returned his call about 12:30. And I said, Egbon, I don't take call around 8 o'clock. He said, you know, all these sentiments. Why did you become that? Have you now such a big man? Have I reduced myself in your face? I said, no, it's just about my schedule. And here's my schedule. I wake up before 5, I do my rituals, then I get to my table by 8 o'clock. And because I've understood myself, my estimation is best. And this is one thing I want to live with you. When is the best time you can do something you want to do? You, not what somebody else is doing. My estimation is at best between 8 and 12. After 12 I can read, but the estimation is not strong again. Remember, I'm a trainer. I have to be on the peak at the top of my game. So I have to read every time. So between 12 and 4, I do anything. Between 5 and 7, I don't do anything. Because my wife leaves office by 5, gets back around 5:30, I have quality time with her. We are the only person left at home now. So I have quality time with her. Block your time, then protect your time. Now, am I saying it's 100% for me? No, it's not 100%. But let it be that more than exception, you have time you want to do tasks. And that is what adds to your productivity. Because in everything you do, when you start, you take time to gather momentum. Case in point, those who drive there, you can't start the car and rev to 120 immediately. You gather momentum. You gather momentum. So when I see Diolo and I stop to say hello to him, I will bring the speed down. And after our conversation, I will have to pick the speed again. So when you stop between activities, and what is distracting or obstructing you is not too quality, that's what you are doing to yourself. It is beyond the 2 minutes I'm talking to Diolu. It has to do with the fact that I dropped my momentum, spoke with him, and I tried to gather it again. How many of you, when you are going to Lagos, have bought Agbado on the road? I do. But I factor 18. Here is the point. Every 10 kilometers, alternate 10 kilometers, there are things I do when I travel alone. Just a practice. So I factor 18 when I stop to buy Agbado. But these are things we should be thinking about. And I said the other time, are you busy or do you have business? And again, I will set goals. Do you set goals? I think I'm old enough to correct people here, right? Yeah. I'm sure some people are already calculating my age if I said I was. And here is the point. I was an indigent student. I actually finished school start 1981. I had to walk for 2.5 years before I went to school. So if you are calculating my age, maybe you are wrong. Especially with the 84, 88 thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? And incidentally, I met few people who I think that I'm younger. Okay, I went to my first daughter's office, and like 4 or 5 of them were saying that I look younger than I am. So anyway, set goals. Here's the point. What you don't mention, you may not be able to measure. And what you don't measure, you will not be able to manage. Put figures. It is only escapists, or those who are not sure of themselves, that avoid figures with our presentation system. So put figures. I want to do 500 between the next 3 months. Do you know about SMART, right? I don't have to waste my time on it. So be specific and let it be measurable. Be specific about what you are doing. I want to grow membership. Great. How many? In the actual, you can go to the extent of telling me, because of the peculiarity of this month, I will do 2. With the peculiarity of that month, I will do 15. You can go to that point. But hey, how much do I want to do? You have to put figures on that. So when you are setting goals, let it be measured, be specific. Set priorities. I think I've spoken about that. My wife is into education, so you know all these holidays, blah 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 blah. When I sit, I have a study and I have a table in my room. So that's absolutely close. But when I think that it is your job that gives you a break, my job has not given me a break. So when it's 8 o'clock, remember, I go to my table. My wife excuses me. Automatically, I don't know how to do it. So set priorities. Now, it may be difficult for you to set priorities if you don't block your time and protect it. Because things will run into one another. Then review your days. I've told you how to review your days. Now, review your days, the way I've said it, is not a law. It's just what I practice. You can find another way of doing it. Next slide. So use to-do schedules, sticky notes, electronic reminders. Remember, they said the faintest pen is sharper than the best brain. In fact, writing things down, they have said, is how many minutes do I have? You can see that somebody's confused. 3 is all?
Yeah.
My time is 3 minutes. Okay. One of the things to declutter your brain is to write things down. I almost always go about I don't have to use it. And the Bible. It's not mandatory for me to use it. This meeting is not about me. So one of the things you want to do to declutter your brain and be more productive is to write things down and check them later. Now here's the point. I also found out that most people, a number of people maybe not most, they write, but they don't read again. That's wrong. Be assertive. Thus far, no further. But the point is that because you don't know yourself, you have not accepted yourself, you won't validate it from people. So everything they want you to do, you keep on doing it. You keep on doing it. Remember efficiency trap. So you get so busy, but I can't even measure your busyness. Now, one of the problems in this environment is that those who are busy for, when they cannot see productivity in your life, they use it to blame you. Incidentally, you wasted your time servicing them. So I always tell people, and this sounds like I'm a wicked person, I don't set myself on fire to keep people warm. I don't get you wood. Sorry, God help you. I can give you a quote. But I'll not set myself on fire to keep you warm. Okay. Build relationship and network. That's extremely important. You need support system. Sometimes you are just overwhelmed. As you are walking up the stairs, I told you that it's not everything that concerns you that you can control. So sometimes some things concern you, but you are just overwhelmed. Can you spread some people to help you? So build relationship. The best way to build a relationship that has quality is to service the relationship. Do you know why I'm here? Because if I call Larry one day, like, Larry, can I have this from you? Except I'm excessive, they are likely going to do it. I'm crediting my social capital. Saying the truth. So the best way to have quality relationship is to service the relationship. The problem is that most of the time we want the relationship to service us. We expect so much from the other person. No, you give value to people because traffic flows in the way of value. I don't have time to explain that. If you don't give value to people, you won't attract people. People respect you not because of who you are, but because of how valuable you are to them. Believe me. Do you know that people don't actually buy products because of the makers? Neither do they buy products because of the name of the product. They buy products because of the value, either real or perceived, that they get from that product. Think about it very well. The day you start having your values or your expectations not met, if you are rational, you look for a substitute. So you don't buy the product. You buy the value you perceive, or that is really the product. Okay. I do that a lot. Even small videos. Do not forget that I've not covered all the ground. Hey, I've left where I was yesterday, and I want to appreciate myself. Actually, sometimes I give myself a treat. Is that okay? Yeah. Affordable treat. You know, I go to Buka, I don't go. Next slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, our distinguished trainer. Fellow JC's friends and guests, I am sure that we have all learned a lot from this, and I'm sure that some of us have one or two questions. So I'll focus on the back, and I'll be taking just 5 questions. So please, if you have questions, kindly raise up your hand as I take the count. If you don't have questions, it means the training is so perfect, Yes, I can.
Also worthless.
He is so perfect that you understand everything, or he's so worthless that you don't even know. So my dear friend, wearing white, black tie. Yes, can we have your question, sir? You must have the question. Okay, give us a contribution.
I don't know. I guess I don't really know.
Yes, so,
Alright, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emmanuel. Thank you, sir, for the presentation. It's, well, I can resonate with you because, I mean, it's in line of what I do. I work with the tech company and, you know, as you were presenting, I was just remembering, okay, I have a meeting tomorrow at 8 a.m. So I have to tell them, okay, this is value of what we are adding. So, as I just presented, I was just like, okay, I'm in my office already. So thank you very much for taking me into that cloud, all right? And I feel that is also applicable to everybody here. Thank you very much.
thank you for that. So can I call our dear friend wearing orange dress with orange cap? You will have a floor, sir.
Local organization president, the IPP, distinguished senators, fellow JCs, guests and friends. I am JC Ridwan Adebayo Jr. Thank you, sir, for the beautiful training. I really appreciate it. It really has a lot of things to do with me. Most times I think what are urgent are important, but after this training I get to know they can be urgent and they will not be important. So another thing I learned from the training is to always evaluate my day. I think that is one of the things that I would really love to do for myself in this year 2023. Because most times I spend the day pleasing others. Actually, at the end of last year, I have this New Year resolution of 2023 should be about me, myself, and I. Because last year, I basically do a lot of things, stretching myself for people, and at the end of the day, it's not worth it. So I decided to use this year to focus more on myself, and thank you for reminding me that.
Thank you. So from which LO, sir?
Sir?
Which LO are you from?
Past president.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, sir, for. So you have a question? Yes, you have.
Thank you
Sorry,
very
tell
much.
us your name.
I'm Shea Awujobi. Thank you very much. So, good evening, everyone. My quick question would be, you mentioned two things, indiscipline and laziness. So, I would like to ask, would you briefly give us tips on how to actually overcome this? Because I, for one, I feel I am beginning to tend to the path of being lazy as a result of so many things, and indiscipline because most of the time when I tend to set goals, I just find myself shifting on those things. So what brief tips do you think would help me come back on track and be a better person than yesterday?
Let's take on the questions then. Yes, so, yes. Tell us your name.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rodrigo Minga. Up with the first video as well. I'm actually a guest here. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it. I'm an active member of IITA core member, and also I'm serving as the IITA president, the research and corpus president. So I would like to ask a question, sir. My brother has actually touched a part of what I actually wanted to say, but this is a personal problem for me. It's in terms of discipline, and also I tend to please people. When I actually wanted to come in as the president of IITA core members and research students, I tend to make a lot of promises, which towards the end of my administration, it has affected me because people tend to send me back to the promises I made. Let me just say yes. It's really one of the things I'm actually fighting now presently, because let me say, if I promised like 10 things I was going to do for the association, I've done like 3 or 4, and I have less than a month or 2 months, or let me just say 2 months to finish the administration. Sir, please, I would like to know, or I would like you to expatiate on a way I as a person I can actually help myself to be disciplined. Sir, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll take our distinguished elder.
You see, I actually didn't want to say anything because the gentleman did a very good presentation. And from the reactions of the audience, I can deduce that everybody was able to acquire different things from the bulk of things, oceans of ideas that's actually projected towards this evening. But that gentleman there in the burnt orange attire, if you actually listen to what our distinguished guest said social investment. Am I right?
Very well. Social capital. Very simple.
Big talk self-value. When you invest in others, they respect you. My friend invests so much in me, I respect my friend. How come you did not get that kind of feedback? That is my concern. Because action, there is action, there is reaction. Yeah, I know you will. I know you will. I would like you to address that. Thank you, sir.
Let's start from there. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah.
So we'll only take 2 more questions after this. We'll project his details on the screen. If you have any other question, you can reach out to him or his admin.
Mr. President,
Okay, you have to.
Mr. President,
The last question.
immediate past president, trainer of the month, personality of the month, JCI senators, fellow board members, fellow JCI guests and friends. Thank you so much, our trainer of the month. You spoke about the efficiency trap. So I want to understand, because since you said we should know our capacity and personality, so how do I find the balance between the efficiency trap and not being complacent and also trying to stretch myself? So how do I balance it? Because I understand that there is the efficiency trap, but how do I manage complacency in that period?
Great.
And stretching myself?
Great.
Thank you. So, yes, you have to.
Mr. President, immediate past president, this is senators in our midst. Thank you, sir. All right, these are senators in our midst, fellow board members, guests, friends. Okay, sir. Thank you so much for the quality training, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I would just like, you said something about your brain like working faster than
Sure.
Okay, sir.
Well, that was what my wife said, and I think it's true.
You said you are getting better than Tilaya.
Very well. Yes.
Okay, sir. We just like to, if you can share with us how you are dealing with that.
All right. That's a great one. Isn't it?
Okay, the last question.
Mr. President, Mr. President, Senators and armies, guests and friends. Thank you very much for your training. Excellent learning from him. His way. I went to work from downstairs and they were already sharing. So I knew something was coming. I was waiting for it. So, and then after listening to him, there's something was really coming. It came. So, sir, I'm at a stage in my life that this is like you came to preach to me. You know when you go to the church and then the pastor like this. Recently, I got a job which required me like 11 hours of my time a week for the job, and then I was elected this year. I mean, and candidly, I'm overwhelmed. Very well. At some point, I was considering also consider that this is even more important. This year. Because I wanted to do this, I wasn't compelled. My job, I'm slightly compelled because of lack of money. That's why I'm doing the job. So, and then I've become more lazy. I have more work and I've become more lazy. Because I'm constantly overwhelmed. I have an overwhelming boss. That one aside, this year I can sometimes be the president can be overwhelming. So, I was at the point that I don't know how to really, become effective, according to the needs. A lot of things that need my attention. Rather than giving them my time, I don't become more lazy. Sometimes I have my home and I just sit down and just so.
All right, is that on?
Yes.
I will start from because I didn't have to write. I'll ask you 4 questions. They look like the same questions, but believe me, you sit down with them. They'll help you to prioritize. Important things are not always urgent, and urgent things are not always important. But sometimes, when you're not sure of yourself and the task you need to do, and the goal you have set, and what is at stake, let me say it again. If you are not sure of yourself, the task you need to do towards achieving a goal, and what is exactly at stake, people will mess you up. What is important to them, they make you look important. And you will accept it. So here goes my 4 questions. If I don't do it, what will happen? If I don't do it, what will not happen? If I do it, what will happen? If I do it, what will not happen? Write the pros and the cons and weigh them. Not in terms of the items you list there, but the importance of your answer under those 2 ends. If I do it, what will happen? This one will be good, this one will go wrong. If I don't do it, what will happen? If I do it, what will not happen? If I don't do it, what will not happen? Is that okay? You don't really have time. Will that help you? It doesn't help you get our question. And sometimes, so importantly, you want to ask yourself, what is at stake? If I don't do it, what will fail? Or what will be enhanced? If I delay it. So, do it, delete it, delay it, or delegate it. That's what Karl Marx says. Maybe not in that order, but just remember it. Do it, delay it, delete it, remove it entirely. Or you delegate it. Can somebody else help you? In the actual fact, that's the main reason why I put it there, that have a good social network. Have a support system. There are certain things I will tell her to help them to, or her. I won't abuse it, but to take it at least off my name. And they probably will do it. If they cannot do it, they'll tell me, I'll tell somebody to do it for you. Or ask me to do it for you. Or can you reach this person? Or sometimes, because we have not properly built our support system, or because we don't know the quality or the importance of our support system. Do you know how many people you are connected with that they are not servicing? Well, let me put it this way, they are not servicing the relationship. I used to be in that trap before. I thought I was a giver, and I never asked for people. So I used to give both money and quality service. I was MC from 1998, May 27, it was 5 years ago. I really get, I'm not sure I ever got paid. I started being an MC May 27, 1998. That was 5 years ago. So I did it for about 18 years. Never got paid for it. Because I never asked. I never understood that what I was doing, I was investing. Not to abuse it or to say by force I've done what you must do for me. But when the need arises, can I talk to you to help me? Now, I don't know whether it's a combination of foolishness or ignorance. Now, I told you I'm real with myself. Is that okay? So you know I'm talking about myself. You don't feel bad. I should feel. Okay. So the next one, brain working faster, right? Yeah. Hasting slowly. I don't know whether it's because I don't know whether the right pronunciation I'm going to give you now. Festina lente is a Latin word. Hasting slowly. Be calm. Who asked that question? Be calm. Hasting slowly. And I always tell myself, you don't want to say everything. Not because you don't want to tell them, but because if you rush to say everything without completing each of them, you have said nothing. So even if it strikes me, I want, except it's important. And guess what? Sometimes I even use my audience to say, where did I go? Can you remind me? And they will do. You know why? Because the way you are going, somebody was speaking sense in it. You stopped and you said something else, somebody picked sense in it again, but you want to go back to where you are going, and somebody who was speaking sense but could not complete sense will say, hey, sir, you left me hanging. Again, maybe that is an humility sign. So I asked the question, is that okay? Now, somebody spoke about efficiency trap somewhere there. Okay? Now, here's the point. Let us know there's a difference between stretching and stressing. Stretching is about do a bit more within your capacity. You have to be real with yourself. That's the bottom line. But for a certain deadline I have, tomorrow was supposed to be my Saturday. I left Ibadan on Saturday and I started on Sunday. I left Ibadan on Saturday for Lagos. I traveled to Abuja. That's a whole transit day with the delays of the airlines. On Sunday, I had some talks to do. On Monday, I started training. On Thursday, I got to Lagos. JJ. I have 2 children in Lagos. I just wanted to spend time with them. And somebody called me and said, please, somebody you train in Abuja said I can see you. How can you see me, please? Can I come to Ibadan? My daughter walked like a kilometer to where the person was calling me. The person was in Bonny Camp. My daughter was in Shomudi Street. So I said, okay, don't worry. He really wanted to. So I said, tomorrow I'll see you before I go to him. So I went to him, spent about 3 hours with him, and journeyed to him. And yesterday, some things I left undone since I left last week Saturday, I had to do them. And after church today, I had to go and do Thanksgiving somewhere, go back home, change that career. Normally when I do that, I know, see, you can see, what do they call this? It's coming on my mind. So when I do that, see, I'm sweating not because I'm talking, because I'm not, I'm just stretching myself. So do you know your limits? That's why I spoke all those stories. Do you know where to stop? If you know where to stop, why can't you stop? Sometimes we think people respect us more because we are going to do more. I want you to respect me, but I'm not desperate for you to respect me. Remember what I said. I don't set myself on fire to keep you warm. Take me for who I am. If you don't respect me, I don't want you to respect me. And I love you. There's a limit for everything. Because if I kill myself, you look for somebody else to use. Now, here is not onto wickedness. I'm not saying I don't service people. But everything has been, including relationship with my children. Now, somebody was telling me that he will call me on Saturday. No, don't call me. I told him, that's the one, right? I said, I said, don't call me until 12. You know why? When I wake up in the morning on Saturday, I stay on the bed with my wife. We gist till 10 o'clock. I don't compromise that. And from 10 to 12, I talk to my 2 children in Lagos who work in Lagos. Every Saturday, except they are busy doing something else. I don't compromise that. And it's not out of pride. So if you want to see me, I pick the time, right? I also tell people don't call me except between 6 and 8. How many times have I missed your call? I don't take it. Don't call sometimes. That's those things you have to mark. So there's a difference between being stretched and being stretched. Stretch is all the way positive. You want to do more, but you don't pull beyond your limit. Stretch could be healthy, but oftentimes it's not healthy. So you have to ask yourself, what is my need? Who am I? Now here's the point. If I do something easily, you don't have to do it easily. Two things. I've done a lot in life. Obviously, age difference. Secondly, it may be a place of my grace, and it's not a place of your grace. So because he does it very well, you don't have to do that same thing as well. Look for who you are and fulfill yourself. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, so I can see the policeman coming to me. I'll just rush to the other one. Feedback, motive. You pointed out about him, right? Feedback and motive. Okay, you said feedback that if you give, why can't you? You know, it's not every time that you sow that you reap. If you don't sow the correct seed in the right soil and you nurture it, you will not reap. Am I right or right? So the fact that you are doing for people or to people does not guarantee you are going to get back. What's your motive? Do you want to be loved? Do you want to be respected more than other people? Or is it because they really need it? So you are wasting your seed if all you want is because of yourself. And again, like I said,
There was an ask in your chair. You were so you are
you know, it's okay, go ahead.
because he was saying that when you see the there was this attitude change. And that is
You see, we can't cover it now. What we need to look at is, let me tell you something.
Am I not right?
There are 6 questions. There are 6 questions in life. If you omit to objectively and completely answer 2, your decisions will be wrong almost often. What you want to do is no big deal. How you want to do it, when you want to do it, it's no big deal. Where you want to do it, it's no big deal. Who you want to do it with is no big deal. How you want to do it and why you want to do it. If you don't sufficiently and objectively answer those 2 questions, you'll be taking wrong decisions. If you have a problem with that, talk to me. So if you need help, let's talk outside. You don't have to. Okay?
So, thank you so much, sir, for that report. So, distinguished JCs, friends, and guests, please, with another JCI clap, can we please appreciate our trainer? Ordinarily, when you go to trainings like this, you pay 100, 150, 300,000. But he's actually doing it for us for free. Wow. And that's why we all need to appreciate him for doing us. So please permit me to also call our distinguished JCI Senator, who happens to be our charter president. So please, with the token that we have as a local organization, appreciate our trainer. Can we have it?
I mean, every time I sit and learn from you, it's a blessing to me. But I always take home something that I can apply. I'm sure I'm right when I say that we had a very engaging and enriching session. And on behalf of Mr. President, the board of JCI Ibadan Elites, and the members and the guests here seated, I'd like to say a big thank you. This is in no way to pay, we can't pay you. And so it's just a token of our appreciation, because we know that it's important to show just that token to you. So on behalf of everyone seated here, I present this to you.
Okay. Yeah,
thank you so much.
Distinguished is rewarding and distinguished.
Can I call our Canal and Director for Growth and Membership, to please usher him over. Okay, so distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our trainer has agreed to stay a bit more. So please, can you appreciate Okay, so I'll quickly proceed to the next item on our agenda because our time is fast spent, and that's item 4.4, which is the address from the personality of the month. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to call J.C. Titi Laniran to read the profile of our personality of the month while we have him stand. With the J.C. I can we please.
Mr. President, immediate distinguished trainer of the month, personality of the month, JCI senators, fellow board members, fellow JCs, guests and friends.
Order.
My name is Ms. Lopelaniron, and I'll be reading a brief profile of Otumba Dejo Moshood Olawoye. He's an architect, businessman, and investor. He was born on 28th of May, 1968 in Ibadan City, Nigeria. He attended ICC Kebola in Ibadan for his primary education and Iwo Grammar School in Osun State for his secondary education. He then proceeded to the Polytechnic of Ibadan for his National Diploma in Architecture, then University of Jos for his Bachelor of Science, and then his Master of Science was from the Rivers State University of Science and Technology for his Masters of Philosophy. Dejo also attended Harvard University, Austin, for an advanced degree in Owners President Management, OPM. He did his youth service in Port Harcourt with Shell, then joined Voice in Cote d'Ivoire as an architect, after which he went back to work with Shell as a community architect. He started Adroit Landstyle in 1999, and his first contract was the building of his regional office of Xerox in Port Harcourt. His other companies include Adroit Oil and Gas, which he started in 2006, Adroit Logistics, which he started in 2007, Adroit Landstyle LSC, Houston, Texas, which he started in 2011. He's happily married to Kafi Idowu Olawoye. So Dejo and Kafi are proud parents of 2 boys and a beautiful young damsel. With the JCI Club, please make welcome our personality of the month.
Okay, so before you talk, sir, I first need to apologize to him because when I saw the profile, it was about maybe 18 pages. And I had to ask her to help us review it a bit. She came back with about 11 pages. And I said, let's still reduce it. So she came back with about 3 pages. Then again, when I saw the time, I said, please, still cut it. So what she has read is not summary. It's a very minute version of the personality of the month. So we sincerely apologize.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you can.
I'd like to good evening, ladies and gentlemen, JCI, Senator, and all protocols of that, because I'm not I would like to appreciate the last speaker.
wonderful. Well, he's a trainer, and then he's also a manager of people. It's what I've seen him talk about. So he's wanting to be a leader and another thing to be a manager. I think it can go for both, because when you lead, you don't want to manage. So I appreciate all of you. Needless to say, we talk about the profile, and that's just a brief, very brief of the kind of things I've gone through in life. I would not want to use slide. I would like to be much interactive, personal. Let's just gist, and that way we can act like we're talking like friends. When you be a part of it, serious talk, you know. And we can get, because when I was in Shell, one of our managers was doing the same for us, and we asked him what's the secret of the success. And I said, okay, don't take stories in media panel. And he said, anything that is said on a bottle of beer, on a wine, bottle of wine, don't take it serious, because it's never been serious. So we are going to talk about success. What are the indicators of success? How do we get there? Especially for most of us that are there and all that. For me, I see success is not about achievement of goals. It's actually depends on how you define it. Your definition of success might be different from mine. But generally, it's when you have a set of goals and how you achieve them. When you achieve them, you are successful. Largely, he said something that I want to expatiate on, that you have to, in a way, I'll say it this way, that you have to compartmentalize your life. So marriage success has got nothing to do with career success. Career success has got nothing to do with spiritual success. No. There are so many. So when you compartmentalize it, like she was trying to ask questions, do I leave JCI and for my work or whatever? So that shouldn't happen, because if you compartmentalize it, as he said, put all the aspects of your life in compartments, you can actually have work-life balance. That's what we call it. So that way, you don't need to leave your work and you don't need to leave the JCI. For me, it's very easy. I start my day with a little prayer, and the first thing I do is to lay my bed. I happen to live in the US for some time, and my family matters. My wife and I became the only people that cook for Oyedepo and the likes of Adeboye. So we stayed in the same suit, and so we cook for their family. So I learned a lot from Bishop Oyedepo. I realized that when he wakes up, even in the hotel, he lays his bed. Bishop Oyedepo lays his bed. So because when I go to preach him in the morning, I see the bed is laid, the man will talk to me. How, why? So I asked the question. The person said, why are you laying bed? That's the first thing you do in the morning after saying your prayer. It makes you feel like you have accomplished the goal. You know, I said earlier that success is about accomplishing goals. So you can break the least one you can achieve is the first one you do. Say a little prayer and lay your bed. At least it sets you up of having small accomplishments. So if you continue like that, there are so many other ones to do. So what I do is that I divide my day into 3, 8 hours each. So 8 hours for sleep. Maybe you sleep for 7 hours, you laze around 8 hours. So another 8 hours for work. So the other 8 hours is for other things. You talk to your mom, you go on WhatsApp, social media groups, you know, all those kind of things. And you actually eat, you do every other thing. You put it together in the other or third box. How you manage each one of these segments is what makes your day to be successful. So some people leave the work 8 hours and use part of it for WhatsApp. I don't open my WhatsApp. I have 2 WhatsApp, like all of us can do. Business WhatsApp, which even my wife doesn't even know. Even my mother doesn't know the because there's only people that I work with. And there are very few people, like 20, 25 people. Very important. And I have the normal WhatsApp, which is about, at times I see 8,000, 2,000 messages. I don't even know. School group, alumni, so, you know, men group, and I don't do. So I opened that WhatsApp from 5, 6. So I don't do that for you. The other WhatsApp, it actually pops up. And somebody say, oh, well, go and see the HOD, go and see MD of this particular business that we are doing. And so if you manage that 8 hours very well, you can flow into other things. And you can also flow from the 8 hours. Don't play with the 8 hours of sleep. I'm someone that hardly sleep. I have problem of insomnia when I was in America that I don't sleep more than 3-4 hours at most. And I went to the doctor one day and he said, you know, American doctors, you're going to die. And I said, no. Why should I die? And I said, and my wife was there, and I said, no, don't say that. You won't die in Jesus' name. Jesus died. So, why are you saying this? Jesus died. He says, if you don't sleep, you're going to get stressed, you're going to get delirium. You mentioned all sorts of things, and at the end of the day, you die. And I said, okay, I don't want to die. So what can I do? And I said, go to CVS, go to work, go anywhere, buy anything. You can be like Michael Jackson, inject yourself, just sleep. So what do I do? So quickly, I went to get, they call it melatonin. So if you look like chewing gum, by the time you finish chewing it, you actually get addicted. So I had to learn how to sleep. I had to really invest in sleep. Sleep is very, very important. It takes every other thing. So that 8 hours, don't play with it. Then the other 8 hours is the 8 hours of work. It's very important. So if you look at the body actually gets tired. He said something, and I said, I'm going to be taking some of the things that, as a trainer, some of the things that he has trained, they are very, very useful to each other. He said, when he walks for 2 hours, he said, after 1 hour, 45 minutes exactly, he said, he started getting tired. How was I that? Like you have seen in the profile, I went to a local school. I was born around here. I was very, very local. One day I told Larry that I said, when we were in Ibadan in those days, someone had told me that, oh, you go to America and you build the house. And this person wants to get money from my mother. No, I never even believed I would get to Lagos, not to talk of going to America. Right? I got to America, I became an American, I did big in America, I came back. Larry knew that I was the only one. I was the one that made Larry to come back from America. He was doing well, he was in New York. And I said, let's go back home. We don't have anything doing here. I know this system very well. I went to the best schools in America. I went to Harvard Business School. And if we not, let's go back home. That's what they told me. These people know the secret of success. I agree. So I was the only one that brought my children back from America. And I got them to school. And one day we were having, because I teach teenage and young adults. So one man came and said, Otuba, you are very wicked after the lecture. He said, what did I do? How can you bring children from America? Everybody wants to go to America. You brought them to America. That is not enough. You took them to Port Harcourt. You want to kill them. And I said, you won't understand. When you get to America and you did very well, you know that the best place to be is here. That is the truth. All this Japa stuff, this man that is stopping his States, almost 40 years in the UK, all his children, wife, 40 years. But now he's in Ring Road, he's happy. He's happy. So all this Japa syndrome and all that, my bank manager called me working for Port Harcourt and said, oh, I'm in Canada. And I said, you're going to regret it. You're a bank manager? Yes. You're a bank manager, and your husband was in share. Why do you have to go to Canada? Canada is a country of taxes. And you think they are so stupid that they will start getting 500,000 Africans in a year? See, they won't give it to you like that. It's the second level of trade, slavery, but you don't understand. Canada can now come to 45% tax. Google it, you see it. They have 3 types of taxes: regional, state, local, and state. How in the world will you leave that? So I said, okay, she now said, what do I do? I said, let's have a cap. If you make 5 million naira, 4 million naira a year, you don't need to go abroad. It will be okay. Let me tell you something that you don't know, if you think I'm lying. You see, you have families and friends abroad. A very few of them will want to build a house and they'll go to Ring Road. They'll go to Yano Church, Lekki, Aja. Somebody told me to go and look at his property in Songo, in Ikorodu. I'm from Ikorodu. I kept on going. This man is in Italy, stayed there for 30 years. Say, welcome to Ogun State. I told you, I said, are you sure? This is the only place you can find. I live in Ikoyi. And I haven't gone anywhere. Even though I live there, it's better here. Say, the land I bought it 1.2. People are buying land of 5, 10 million in Bangladesh. Why do you want to? You can't live there. If you live there, they will kill you the next one. So it is not, success is not. There was a time of my life that I was praying that all my prayer was that I want to go to America, just like I said. I go to America, and I realized that there is nothing there. I live big in America, like big houses. I have investment. I have 3 companies, like you mentioned. The company that we run here, we have the same company in America. But I could take advantage of the things that we can get in America to come and develop it. I have 3 kids. One is really aerospace engineering, the best university in America, for the University of Notre Dame. And he came home for Christmas. And he said his aim is to come back to develop Africa with his knowledge. And that is the effect of schooling in America. All of us run away. Who is going to come back afterwards? You're just going there to pay taxes, just build numbers. Especially if you see IT people like this and still surviving there, you will actually get much more money. There, you get probably $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month. Then your bills and taxes will be like 90% of that. They can't even save. How many people in America can tell you that $10,000, $15,000? That's like 10 million. A lot of us will be able to afford that. So it's not as good or as easy as it seems. And that takes me to one of my mentors, Zig Ziglar. You have to set goals. Zig Ziglar wrote a book about goals. And he said the Japanese are the best in setting goals. If goals are attached to success, they know how to set goals. Japan is an island that has nothing. These are I don't know who understand geography, they call it the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is where the Pangea, that's the 2 continents, divide, and there's always earthquake there. Japan happens to be on the Ring of Fire. That's why you see, when they build houses, they build it with paper, wallpaper, and they develop yoga so that they can block their ears. The house must not be heavy so that it doesn't collapse on it. And Japan had nothing. The only thing they have is the sea. They talk about it. What can we do with this? Nothing. And in the text, he now said, okay, you know what? We can build ships and we can make it the best country in shipbuilding. But we don't have iron. Iron is like 2,000 kilometers away. What do? We can get iron, still build the best. And they gave themselves 15 years. In the 40s, Japan became the best shipbuilding country in the world. So, what did they do? What did they do? They stopped. So, at the end of the day, they said, okay, we want to be the best in car building. After 15 years, they built the best cars, better than the Americans. They stopped it. So, if you look at success, success can come from small numbers. Oprah Winfrey said success is a combination that's hard work plus opportunity is equal to success. So, why you have to work hard is because the harder you work, you get skilled, you be exposed to more opportunities. But I put a caveat there that if the opportunity doesn't really come, you have to create it. And that's why they say if opportunity doesn't open the door, Here in Nigeria, there are so many opportunities. There are so many things you can do. I don't know what your definition of success is or what is going to be for this year. But first, you have to understand that you have to plan, like I said. When you plan, write it down. Write down your plan. That's what Ziegler said. When you write it down, you have to make sure that you evaluate it, and at the end of the day, you get results. You can reformulate if it's not success. There's something called success intelligence. I won't be able to talk about that. But what I basically want you guys to know is that anybody can be successful, depending on your definition of success. I went to Okeado. We were not wearing shoes going to school. I was not even a very good student. If there are 12 subjects, I only know 2 or 3. But those 2 or 3, I know it so well. I know technical drawing, I know art, and I know a bit of math. That's why I became an architect. Essentially, I'm an architect. I've never practiced architecture in my life. I've been a businessman. We run a company that goes into anything. We can call anybody to get things done for us. Success, what I want your takeaway to be is that attitude is everything. Someone told me, why is Dangote a Muslim? I'm a Christian. Even though I told my mom last week I want to be a Muslim. She said, why? I said, hypocrisy is too much. And people die, you spend 200 million to get somebody buried. The big Cubana's mother died of an alien of like 4 million naira can fix, and people start throwing 340 something pounds. I said, it's hypocrisy, I don't like it. The Muslim died, even the president, they put in white clothes, got it, they forget it. I said, that's one part of it. There are so many other parts that these people are getting it better than us. So, but as a Christian, I realize that it is always better when you attach your success to God. This guy in the Burnt Orange said something. He said, giving. He's getting tired of giving. Don't ever. That's my own life. I give. I continue to give. You have a foundation that I don't even know where the money is going. But let me tell you one secret. I went to the best business school in the world, and I spent 3 years. And after 3 years, where 2 classes, both classes was like 120. A lot of Indians, 4 Africans. And at the end of the year, the last lecture, the professor came and said, we're going to be surprised. We did strategy, we did a lot of things. And he said, what you do after you got it all. Everybody wanted to listen. I said, what do you do? When you have all the money, what do you do with it? So everybody started saying all sorts of things for days. And the man said, I said, okay, what you do when you get it all? Just wrote 4-letter word, give. Somebody asked, how much? He said, give everything. The one Indian guy said, you don't tell me you give everything. I don't need to come here. So if you have told us that we are going to give everything, I will not start spend so much money. Spend so much time. So that is the only thing that will make you happy at the end of the day. That's why you see the richest Americans, they give everything. You have to learn how to give. When I started working in Shell, my salary was 3,500 as a community architect. And one Igorima, that's the people in Port Harcourt, came and met me. He said, you know Port Harcourt? Yeah. Igorima came and met me and said, hey boy, how much are you sending home? I said, nothing. I quickly said, nothing. You know this money. You're sending nothing home? I said, 3,500. What can I even do with the money? He said, no. As an elder, I will teach you what to do. Out of that 3,000, you have to be sending something to him. I said, it's not enough. Even my mom knows that it's not enough. I will not send anything. I said, no. If it's 100 naira, 50 naira, 150, send it all. You create that habit. I started sending 150 to my mom. Today, my mom is on salary. It's automatic. So, my mom is rich. If I'm rich. So, you have to imbibe the culture of giving within yourself. The more you give, that is all of the hypocrisy that, I'm sorry, with due respect to Christians, with Christianity today, I don't want to go. Why does the Bible says that it is more blessed to give than to receive by the church? receive more than they give. I went to a school that was converted Catholic. I was going to an Anglican Oriyoro in Ibadan here. I went to Igbo Grammar School. It was also former Anglican school, converted. And I went to University of Jos, first, second degree, and I went back to do MPhil PhD in Port Harcourt before I went to Harvard. I see the missionary influence my education because they were giving back. The likes of our Redeem, Winners, all these Pentecostals, they operate like new generation banks. I see them in the cities. They don't go to the villages. That's why you see you say the Easterners, the Igbos are more successful. Because these people teach them a lot of things. They teach them time management in Catholic churches. They teach them a lot of things and they don't take from them. The money comes from Italy. So we give so much, you don't give, and you want so much. So that is the problem with Christianity. We have to change that culture. If all of us are giving, I think we are going to be better off at the end of the day. So what I want you to take away is success is how you define it. The most importantly, don't worry, I'll round up. Most importantly, it is not somebody, that's another key thing that she said. Don't use another person. Anthony Bourdain, Kate Spade, they are one of the most successful people in the world. But they lost it. Committed suicide. The Dangote story is that a Muslim was in a plane, business class. I know a lot of people must have heard this story. And they announced, we need an archbishop to go to London because he's one of the most important persons in this country. He wants to go for a conference. And you see pastors, church leaders on the plane. And nobody wants to give people their seats. I said, they announced again and said, please, one seat for the archbishop. It is very important and he must go. And the Muslim guy, very young, just carry his carry on and I'll give it I'll drop some other time. And he was going, and Archbishop, he just called him back. Say, come. I don't care what you do, I don't care where you're from, I don't care what you worship. But when they talk about first, in this world, in Africa, they will mention your name. He blessed him from, when an archbishop blesses you from his head, you know that you stick on. And you now wonder, why is it that the richest man for how many years is a Muslim? Because he did the right thing. Yeah. So you have to give. It might be giving money, it might be giving time, like what he gave. It's time. What I'm giving is time. But you have to impact. At the end of the day, you will not be happy if you don't give all what you have. That's what I was taught. So thank you very much.